Hello, this is a video for the men, and the topic for today is what is behind her anger. So when your woman is angry, when she's feeling upset, what is behind that? And when she's experiencing something like that, obviously there's a reason for that, and it could be that you're the reason, or it could be that something is triggered that. But she's experiencing those feelings of being upset, and she's obviously hurt. That anger is pain, and very often what's behind that is fear. Behind what you often find is that behind her anger, why she's lashing out, she's afraid of something. She's afraid of losing connection, or she's afraid of being mistreated, or there is a fear there very often. So that's very often behind fear. Behind anger, there's this fear. And one of the ways that you can deal with that, when she's exploding, when she's getting angry, it's very important that you don't get knocked into being reactive to that, because if she's exploding and expressing all of this, if you get pulled into that, then you may end up, saying things that you'll regret, or getting pulled into an argument which could last for, an hour or something. You may end up really hurting each other emotionally, or whatever it leads to. So in order to avoid getting pulled into that, you need to observe your own emotions and not see the situation as a threat, because as long as you feel safe in you're not going to get triggered into that fight or flight mode. So it's very important how you regulate your own emotions in situations like that, especially when your woman is angry, when she's expressing that, especially when she's blaming you and judging you. That's the time when it's the most difficult to remain cool. And how do you do that? How do you stay composed and cool, without reacting, but also not being cold and closed? What is there another way to keep your heart open while she's acting like that, without kind of running away, without slamming doors, without shouting at her, without shutting down, because we can freeze as well. It's not just about running away. There's a temptation to just run away, to leave the situation because it feels uncomfortable, or to shout back, to defend ourselves. What right do you have to speak to me like that? That sort of thing. Or the other way is to just freeze, be like a deer in the headlights. You're just frozen with fear, and you just don't know how to respond. You don't know what to say. You just close up. And then she feels like you really don't care, And if you leave as well, she'll feel like you don't care. And we feel sometimes as men, like, what is the option here? Where can we go with this in this situation? And I want to share that there is one secret door that you can pass through. It's like an exit, to leave this situation, or to navigate it. And that is to see the innocence in her, to see her that she is a scared little girl right now. She's acting like a scared little girl. It may be manifesting as anger and all of this rage and all of this, and it's fine, You can just watch that hurricane, that tornado just spinning, and all of that noise and all of that. That doesn't mean that she gets to, abuse you or any of that, but just try to see her with love, as if she was a hurt little girl, that she's scared, and she's hurting, and when you can see that she's scared and she's hurting, you can really connect with her, and that breaks down that wall that she's created, because that anger can't withstand your compassion. You can break through that wall of her judgment and anger and blame and all of that, if you see and feel her pain, you know, because as long as you are focused on your own pain, as long as you're focused on you being right, then you won't feel her pain, and there'll be separation between you two. But if you're able to feel and see and have compassion that she's actually suffering right now, she's scared, she doesn't know what to do. And if you can express that in a way that she understands that, let her know that you understand that you're feeling like this, you can tell her, like, you're very angry right now because I really screwed up. And she will agree with you. She may bite, she may spit, but she'll agree with you. She'll listen. You'll catch her attention because you are reflecting what actually is going on inside her, and she'll recognize that you understand her. And then you can create a bridge through that understanding, because you can say, through your actions, through your words, you can let her know that you understand that she's hurting right now. It creates a bridge. And then usually what happens is that anger passes, she will go into tears, and that's a good sign. When she starts to cry, it means that her heart is opened, and then you can actually be there for her to comfort her and lead her out of that, let her just express. And there may be a temptation to, to sort of put the salt into her and into the wound and say, like, oh, I told you so, or, I was right all along, or something. But just, you have to be very careful in that time just to navigate that and allow her just to, to go through the motions of her own emotions, of her own storm, be there for her, allow her to feel, to tell you why she feels upset, and just keep watching yourself so you don't get reactive, so you don't respond to that in a way which is going to make things worse, And you may be right in the argument. You may have really good point, but it doesn't matter, because in this situation, what's happening, what matters is what she's feeling, and the feelings, in a way, sometimes they override logic. We as men, we like to think things through logically. This is how this is, and therefore this is how this is. It makes sense to us. But with the realm of feelings, it's not like that. The feelings become very real for her in a way that is more intense than it is for us. And when we can understand that we are different and we do experience these things differently, we're better able to be there for her, to hold space for her, because her way of experiencing this is different, and when we accept it, there are these differences, then we are able to understand, and the understanding leads to compassion, and that leads to love, and reunion, and then you can actually make up, you can trust again, you can open your hearts to each other, But for us, for guys, it's really about regulating our own emotions and reactivity, just watching that so we don't say or do something that's just going to make the fire worse, Yeah.